Hello and welcome back to Old Man Media with your hosts Paul Buchanan, and
Me, Will Rag.
we're on episode 5. We've made it after a short hiatus.
Yeah, short hiatus. Should we? Yeah, obviously some personal stuff, and we have actually tried to get back in the
Really tried.
studio, but it's
Scheduling issues.
scheduling issues. My agent can get in touch with your agent and all of this, and
Yeah.
but no, we're here. We're back in one room.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to one and all that's listening.
Yeah, well, it's after Christmas now, but I guess.
But
Happy
in
New
case I
Year.
didn't catch you.
And to start the new year, we're talking about a film that came out months ago.
So we're really behind on this one, The Running Man. The Running Man.
Even when we
Remember
even when we decided on doing The Running Man, it was already out of like. I watched one of the last showings of View.
I was late to watching it for the podcast, and I think it'd been out like a week or two, and I was like, oh cool, I'm just going to check the local cinemas. Couldn't find it anywhere. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that was gone in a flash.
It did terribly. I didn't should have looked up how much it did, but terrible.
I mean, it just looked like a bog standard action film on the surface, and
Yeah,
sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover, but
sometimes you can, and sometimes you should.
Sometimes you should save yourself the
Yeah.
$9.99 cinema ticket.
Oh god, cinema tickets are so expensive now. It's gone up again at View. It's like $10.99 now for like the mid seat.
View, my sworn enemy.
Oh, used to be £5, but I mean, it used to be uncomfortable seats, but that was a good trade-off, I thought. Anyway, so I said to you when that first came out, we should watch the old Arnie one, watch the new one, see how they compare. I actually quite like the Arnie one.
Yeah, no, the Arnie one's actually really solid. It's one of those where I was like, if I watch this and it's crap, then it kind of makes me think, oh, well, maybe, okay, there's a good thing, it's a remake. But when I watched it and I was like, this is actually just a genuinely good time. Like, it's, I don't know, maybe at the time it wasn't received amazingly, but I feel like with age, it's kind of that era and that time of 80s action movie. And, so I think there's a certain nostalgia for that nowadays, and you can watch that Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man and just have a really good time, and it's not a film where you're supposed to like be intellectually stimulated. You're supposed to kind of, be along for the ride and watch some cool action scenes. And Arnold does some one-liners,
Got some terrible one-liners in that.
Yeah, I felt like I wrote one down.
Did you write that down? I should have done.
But this is I have to go through my notes to like a month or two ago.
Go back to 2 months ago.
Yeah, I found my notes on the film, and there's a bit where he's like, give you a lift, and then he throws him off like a really high place.
Yeah, it's like stuff like he kicks him into a fridge and goes cool off, but I don't think that's actually one, but it's so bad.
Nice to meet you.
That's it. Ice to meet you.
I think that's from Batman. But
Oh, is it?
He played Mr. Freeze, so he's got a lot of ice.
Oh, okay.
puns.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's terrible. It's really bad. The
And
80s
there
were
was
terrible,
there's a
man.
line in it as well where it just says, you can't live with them, you can't live without them.
You can't live with them. I can't do Arnie. Get on the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
He's great. I love it. I love an Arnie film. Drinking a couple of beers and watching an Arnie film. I think there's nothing quite like it. Or have you ever seen a Jean-Claude Van Damme film?
No, I've never seen
They're
Jean-Claude.
great to drink a couple of beers to. Great time. And so yeah, it's just like it's good fun, isn't it? It's just like
I mean, it's based off a Stephen King novel, which is, if the source material's strong, and Stephen King is usually, he's always got pretty strong source material, then usually it's hard to fuck that up. Even, well.
Have you ever read a Stephen King book?
I have read, it is called The Four Seasons, and it has the Stand By Me story. It's 4 short stories, and each one's a season. And Stand By Me is in it, and Shawshank Redemption's in it. And then I got to this, I think it was like the third one, and it was all about this, it was like a Nazi, this guy's next door neighbor who was a Nazi who had gone into hiding. And it's like this kid gets obsessed with it and finds out he's a Nazi and blackmails him into telling him all the horrible shit that he does in the war. And then the kid starts having nightmares, and then he goes out and kills homeless people and animals and stuff because he knows all the dark shit the Nazis did, and he's like, it's basically just about a boy becoming insane because he gets obsessed with Nazi experiments and stuff. It's really dark.
God.
There's a bit where I've learnt what Steely Dan actually means.
Oh yeah.
because like they used to use like electronic dildos to torture people, and like made out of steel, and that's a Steely Dan, which is like such a chill ass band, really intense.
They're named after Nazi torture methods.
Yeah, but yeah, Running Man.
No, I was just gonna say I've never read a Stephen King book, and I've always been adverse to it because if you write that many books, are they really that good? But everyone says they are, so I guess they must be. But
they are really solid for the amount that he puts out, and the amount of cocaine that he probably does to get it done. It's really good.
Stephen King doesn't strike me as a man that does cocaine.
Yeah, he famously got really addicted to cocaine, which is how he attributed a lot of his like output to it. He was like, used to do lines and like write, it.
Yeah, do you know Philip K. Dick used to do loads of speed, and he'd write all of his books on speed in one go, no rewrites or anything. He'd just write a book, do loads of speed, write a book, and then just send it to the publisher and then get it published.
That's the life, baby.
Crazy
rock and roll sci-fi.
Rock and roll sci-fi, baby.
Oh yeah, it's weird because I didn't instantly think Running Man was a Stephen King novel, because it is a sci-fi kind of like Blade Runner-esque world, kind of like dystopian future, a little bit of RoboCop vibes. Maybe.
Yeah, it's very definitely a set. It came out during the Reagan era. It's very much about Ronald Reagan's America and the consumerism that came with that.
But I found it interesting watching it from the modern day perspective, and like obviously in the original, there's clips that get completely AI redone because they don't want to show the public what's actually happened. So like the public get like a heavily edited clip of like, I don't know, maybe like I think Arnold's like whole reason that he gets like put on the show, he gets like framed for killing a load of civilians or something.
Yeah, that's right.
But he was trying to save them.
Yeah.
But the clip that they showed on the news is like a AI edited video of him just being like, "I'm gonna kill you all," and just like in a chopper like mowing down civilians. And it's like that could be done nowadays. To our government, we have the AI powers. We have this like AI is getting scarily convincing. You could like put shit out like that. There's no doubt in my mind that if the government wanted to, they could. Yeah,
especially in the age of like Gaza. That's quite interesting, isn't it? With like Arnie refusing to kill people and then getting framed for actually just kill. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's very likened to like the way that sort of media is portrayed to us through like social media and stuff to get us to, make political assumptions about stuff, which, without all the information, and I think the scary part is that like most people won't do their research further than that to find out.
We read the headlines and then
or just see a video and just take it at face value, and then that's the truth, and then they tell their friends, and then their friends aren't even going to see the video. They're going to take the word and be like, well, that's that. But
I think what's interesting in the new one as well is they forego all of that kind of political stuff, and it's just about, well, I mean, obviously it is political is about a very struggling father trying to provide for his sick daughter, but it feels like it could be set at any moment in time. Like at every instance in the past 100 years, there's been people really struggling. So what does it say about our modern day? Like what grounds it in modern day? Why did it come out? Why did they redo it now?
It's almost like I found the 80s one more relatable and striking to me, but maybe because I knew it was ahead of the curve, but also just, I don't know, doing an 80s, like the 80s futuristic sci-fi thing in the 80s was like, that was what they thought like 2025 would be like or whatever, and now we're at 2025 and imagining the future on from there, it's very difficult to do that without seeming cliche and kind of like drab and like it's been done before. And yeah, I mean, as a whole remake goes, what I always just think with a remake, it's like, what's your reason for doing this remake? Like what kind of things are you trying to resurface through or retell through this, this story? And I think like Robert Eggers is very good at, kind of backing his words of why he feels that certain things need a remake in this day and age. And, like other directors as well. Historically, I'm talking about Robert Eggers and, Nosferatu, but then you've got Werner Herzog, who used the story to kind of portray political tensions in Germany at the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure on that, but it's interesting, Nosferatu, in that, I mean, obviously the original was based on Dracula, and then each one since then have been a remake of Nosferatu. But each of those were like very good in their own right, really. I mean, even this new one, I didn't love it, but there were certainly parts of it that I thought were really, really good and really interesting. Had an interesting take.
It's for the girls.
It is, I think.
For the girls who have weird moustache vampire fetishes.
Yeah, it's a very interesting take on Nosferatu as a vampire and seeing him.
Sexy Nosferatu.
Very. Was he hairy? I can't remember now.
No, he had this really big handlebar moustache.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He was like mostly naked half the time,
but he was all silhouetted all the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a horny movie, that one. But I guess Dracula kind of always was a little horny, like the original story.
Yeah.
But this Running Man just
not horny at all.
Not even. I think Glenn Powell might be asexual. Like he just exudes no. Like I mean, yes, he's conventionally attractive, but there's no.
I don't know. He's like an action man. Like you kind of just expect there's going to be nothing there. You know? Smooth.
It's just smooth on
but like he's just like a piece of claymation. Like for all I know, he's an AI. I did a background check on him before this podcast to see if I could drag anything up about him. But he got his breakout role in Spy Kids 3D Reloaded or something.
Is that true?
Yep. I mean, I want to find out what it was called because it's got a very funny name. Spy Kids 3D. Oh, it's not that funny. Game over. But I remember having the DVD.
Wait, hold on. His role is
long-fingered boy.
Well, it wasn't his breakout role. It was his first role.
Hey, I remember having the DVD case for this, and it had 3D glasses in it, and it was pretty ahead of its time for 2003. So
3D glasses.
Yeah.
Wow. 2003. Really?
2003
I guess
3D glasses.
Since like the 60s. 3D.
It was
glasses.
like cardboard ones though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and then like he's been in not much since 2003. He was like a extra kind of in The Dark Knight Rises. He was in The Expendables 3. He was in a film called Sex Ed.
Is that a leading role? By the way, everyone, so Paul's version of doing a background check is just going to his Wikipedia page. It's like he's like asked the police to look into this man, or hired a PI or something.
Pull this up for me. What can you find on this guy? They got some dirt. Spy Kids is some big dirt.
That because we watched Marty Supreme recently, and little hint of soon coming episode. And we watched the trailer. The trailer from the new Glenn Powell film was before it, and it looked dog shit. It looked awful.
Oh yeah, it was. I can't even remember what it was called.
It just gave away the entire plot of the film. There's nothing.
How to Make a Killing.
How to Make a Killing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it looked bad.
Is it based on something? Is it based on a book or something?
It's loosely inspired by a 1949 British script, Kind Hearts and Coronets.
Oh, okay, that's an old thingy film, Ealing Studios comedy.
Yeah, but yeah, and I don't know, what was it? It originally appeared on the 2014 Blacklist under the title Rothschild. The screenplay, sorry, originally appeared on the 2014 Blacklist.
2014 Blacklist? Why was it on a Blacklist?
I don't know. Because apparently John S. Bard signed on to direct the film with Shia LaBeouf and Mel Gibson starring.
Oh, yeah, two very problematic people there.
Yeah, instead you've got fucking Glenn Powell.
Yeah, see, this is the thing.
No
in the
edge.
age of, I mean, like,
it needs more dirt on him.
Like Shia LaBeouf and Mel Gibson shouldn't work. They should not be working in Hollywood at all. However, if the alternative to that is that we have people with absolutely zero charisma and have the personality of a wet paper towel in Glenn Powell, then I don't know.
Okay, so the Blacklist is a annual survey of the most liked motion picture screenplays not yet produced. So it's been published every year since 2005, and apparently the first one was compiled by a guy who was working as a development executive for Leonardo DiCaprio's production company. And he emailed 75 fellow development executives and asked them to name the 10 best unproduced screenplays. So, you read that and you think, wow.
Is this an annual thing?
Apparently.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know this before.
You got to be in the biz, though.
I'm not. Definitely not in the biz.
We will be.
We will be. Old Man Media.
Old Man Media Productions. We're locking in.
Locking in for 2026.
Yeah, I want to go back to the 80s Running Man because I felt like there was some real funny moments in it. I thought there's a bit where like they roll up with this, like I think Arnold Schwarzenegger's getting chased and there's like the car rolls up beside him and there's this crazy looking sci-fi weapon. It looks like something out of Halo, and I was like, whoa, what's it gonna do? It just shoots out a net. I was like, what the fuck? And like it's the most comedic net over him as well. Like you just think I would have gotten out of that.
They've gone so far in the future, and the weapons they've invented are like primeval.
And there's a bit where Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, "I'll be back." And
he does do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the electric guy is like insane, isn't it? He has like a suit of electricity, and he like shoots out. That was the only bit that I was like, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
like, that's something that they've. But then the rest of it is all just like modern day weapon. Like,
it's like the chainsaw guy.
Oh yeah, the chainsaw guy as well. It was fun. Like it was a fun time in that it was bad.
It's kind of weird dynamic between him and the female like co-star because she's like. I think she's like in her home gym or something, and Arnold Schwarzenegger just shows up, and then she's like, "Oh, you're that fugitive," and then.
But then
he just kind of like kidnaps her, and then like she just goes along with it, and then the whole thing is in the end he's like, "Oh, he's a good guy." He just
Yeah, and then she like clears his name. Well, tries to anyway, and then she gets sent into the thing. And then she ends up helping the Resistance. Did you notice that was Mick Fleetwood? In the Resistance, the leader of the Resistance was Mick Fleetwood.
No.
Yeah, it was.
What in the OG?
Yeah, in the original. Yeah. And also Frank Zappa's son is in it. I can't remember his name.
Dweezil.
Some shit. What the fuck is
Frank
that?
Zappa's on smoke, man. I don't care.
Frank Zappa, cool guy.
God forbid you fucking get born as your dad. You're going to get some stupid ass name like Bumblebee.
Yeah, like
Bumblebee Zappa.
Right, what are Joaquin's Phoenix parents? Because they got they got stupid names, haven't they? River Phoenix. His name's a child River.
LA, man.
Yeah, weird fucking place.
LA yoga club.
Anyway, yeah, Mick Fleetwood and Frank Zappa's son. But that was interesting. Like the Resistance bit was really cool, but they didn't play on any of that. Was it hinted at least in that there was some sort of underground resistance?
Yeah, I mean, there's like that guy. Oh, I can't remember. I'm saying that guy. It's Michael Cera. Is like he's kind of like helps him out at one point, and it's funny because it's Michael Cera, and like there's the bit that's in the trailer where it's like they fuck up the electricity in the house, and then he pulls out a water gun from the cupboard and pumps it up, and it's like very comical because he's shooting a water gun, but then it actually does electrocute them all. And you see that in the trailer, and it's like it's one of those films where like maybe all the best bits are used in the trailer because there's not much else going on in there.
Yeah,
like
to be fair to the film, all of the action sequences, which I think is what Wright is best at, Edgar Wright, are actually quite good, and I enjoyed watching most of them. I thought they were good fun. All of the other bits sucked.
Yeah.
Really bad. And the thing with the Arnie one is that, it sucks, and the action actually probably isn't even as good as the new one, but it's a fun watch because you're watching Arnie, and he has that charisma, and he has that a kind of weight behind him that's like, he can carry a film. Glenn doesn't.
No, Glenn's like, I don't know where he's come from recently. I don't know if he's given it a go. He's given it a go, but it's like, do we really need this other like kind of, Ryan Reynolds-esque guy? It's just like a flat, placid character that you can put anything on him and he's going to be okay. But
I'll give that to Glenn Powell. I'll take him any day over Ryan Reynolds. I fucking hate Ryan Reynolds. I hate to look at him. He's not. Anyway.
Because he's buff and he owns Wrexham.
He owns Wrexham. Well, yeah, he's also just ruining football. Not only is he ruining films with his awful comedy, he's also ruining football. Wrexham are mid-table in Championship.
You are?
Wrexham are mid-table in the Championship.
Yeah, they came back against Sheffield the other day, right?
Was it United or Wednesday?
United.
Oh, was it? Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that was like 4-3 in the end.
Wow. Yeah, that is good. I think they beat Southampton the other day as well. I might be making that up. But they shouldn't be, a non-league side shouldn't be fucking 11th in the they were non-league anyway. But that's crazy.
I mean,
Anyway.
it's just proof that money can buy. Have you seen that? I do actually think the show is a good watch. I think it's.
I haven't seen it.
I like it's. If someone wasn't into football at all, I'd show them that, and like I feel like they would come out with a different perspective on things. Because the club has a lot of history, and they did make an educated choice when they decided to buy Wrexham. It wasn't just like, oh, let's go for this wild and I don't know. It's kind of like very surreal and heartwarming and wacky, but you just think all these people in this like little Welsh town, just their lives have been completely like, what the hell is going on? We've got Ryan Reynolds dressed as Deadpool, like coming to games, and like I don't know. Yeah,
all these people just had like they were just in a random Welsh town, and then were like now the stars of a TV show.
Yeah,
it is a bit odd. It is interesting. Like I have watched bits of it because my dad watches it, and he, it is interesting. They go into the history of it and stuff like that, but. Is it fair to go take a non-league side, plough loads of money into them, and in League 2 get an ex-Premier League goalkeeper to come in and who I think almost single-handedly gets them into the playoffs or into the automatic promotion spot because he saved a penalty or whatever? Just like that's not. I don't know. That rubs me the wrong way. Anyway, we're talking about the Running Man. So I wanted to talk about it because I read an interesting article. It's by David Ehrlich of IndieWire. David Ehrlich, he's okay. I quite like him, some of his reviews, but he's a little bit cheesy with some of his writing. He makes an interesting argument, one that I have thought about before reading this, which is that we shouldn't remake good movies. Think Gus Van Sant remaking Psycho, which is like, what's the point? We should be remaking bad movies. The Running Man, remake. Well, actually, it's not really a remake, is it? Because it's based on a book.
It's the story is completely different, and you know what? It's like, it's a remake, but it's like it feels like they've just used the world and the likeness and the name, but like. And like almost everything's different. And the one thing I was like saw in the Edgar Wright kind of directing it and was like, oh, I can kind of is like in the end of Shaun of the Dead when there's like the game show with the zombies and stuff, and he's kind of making fun of like how like a capitalist society would react to the after a zombie apocalypse has settled down, and we just turn the zombies into a game show, and there's zombies on Jeremy Kyle, and it just becomes like it's very like pastiche and absurd, but. It's kind of like, it reminded me of that, the way that the Running Man was presented, and it's a game show about where people die on it, and it's like very bleak, but for people's entertainment, and I guess I could kind of see that maybe a vision or trying to understand the point of view of Edgar Wright, which if we've got to go that far to try and like justify a director, it's probably not a good sign, because I just get disappointed by it. I haven't seen what was it, Last Night in Soho?
Yeah, I didn't watch it either because it looked bad even from the trailer, and everybody said it was bad, so I was like, I'm not just going to waste my time. I don't know what's happened there. He moved to America and he's just lost all of his directorial capabilities. Because
Edgar Wright's on smoke. He's hanging out with Dweezil Zappa.
It's really good, and I really love every film in it.
Because it's British, and it's culturally, like, even like people that aren't British love it for its depiction of British culture, and it's like, it's honest and true to some extent of like, the humour and the people that it's purveying, and it's like, I actually enjoyed Baby Driver, despite the Kevin Spacey of it all. I thought it's a good, feel-good action movie. You stick it on with your family. No one's gonna be offended, apart from after Kevin Spacey did those horrible things.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
But if in a Kevin Spacey-less world,
also was on the Epstein flight log. So, but yeah, he's not great. But it is because he's the bad guy in that film, isn't he?
He is.
So I guess that's not too bad. But I just think Ansel Elgort, another leading man that's been astroturfed. I think now he's like fell out of favour massively, isn't he?
What, the guy from Baby Driver?
Yeah, he's in Spielberg's West Side
Story. I think he was
good
for that role. He's kind of playing this deaf, like slightly kind of weird guy, like not weird, but introverted. I think it worked. I like that film.
Yeah, I just think it has...
it's got that kind of Edgar Wright... Like, this is one thing that was completely missing from The Running Man for me, is, like, despite the action sequences being good, like, the directing to the beat And it's like that's what I think his kind of bridge into doing American film with Baby Driver is that you've got, you know, the whole plot is that he listens to music and he drives around. So these action films are edited to the beat of all these songs, and it's all of those are so well done. Whereas I feel like in Running Man, it's I'm failing to understand the kind of perspective or, you know, what he's trying to bring to the table with it. But like I'm at a complete loss for why this film was made, which is
Yeah, and I mean, to go back to what I was saying about remaking bad movies, is that you know, if we have to live in an age, this is basically what Ehrlich's argument is that if we have to live in an age where there are constant remakes of films ploughed at us all day, then fine, but let's leave the good films alone, because they will almost always crumble under the weight of the first film. Let's remake bad films that have that they have some sort of weight to them. Everybody, like this new Anaconda film that comes up in the article. People know about that first film because it was bad, but so people might go and see the second one based on that fact. And, then they haven't got to worry about living up to the first one because there's nothing to live up to because it was a terrible film.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting year for reboots. We had the Naked Gun reboot, which I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was good.
I didn't see it.
It didn't recapture the old, because, like, how can you...
Yeah, I've heard it was quite funny.
But no, it is very... I think Liam Neeson was the right man for the role because he's already got the kind of, atmosphere. He's got cred. He's not just a Glenn Powell. He's like, he's a heavyweight.
Yeah, no.
So like, it's an unusual role for him to take, but he smashed it. I thought it was really funny. I was laughing for like literally laughing my ass off like for an hour. It was like great.
Yeah. No, it is interesting because with the original Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen, very similar to Liam Neeson in that their names are almost like identical, which is strange. But also, Leslie Nielsen was a serious actor before that. He was only in serious films, so casting him in a comedy, everyone was like, "What's going on?" Which is the same, obviously, with Liam Neeson. Although to be fair, Liam Neeson has done comedy before. Like he did that Ricky Gervais thing. He did it. What was it called?
Not Extras.
No, it wasn't Extras. It was like where they interview people behind the desk and.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember what it was, but he was really funny. Also, have you seen those pictures of him pissing himself? Are those real?
What, Liam Neeson pissing himself?
Liam Neeson pissing himself. Have you seen this?
No, bring it up right now.
Bringing it up right now. What is it they say in the Joe Rogan? I've not listened to Joe Rogan. Hey, pull that up. What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Why does Liam Neeson pee his pants so much? Reddit. Okay, yeah, is this it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he was always pissing himself. Like, I think he might have, like, bladder issues or something.
Oh, you know what? He owns it.
He does.
He doesn't look phased by the fact he's pissing himself.
He does every time. He just acting.
I know they've
zoomed in case you can't see it. Anyway, go do yourself a favour if you listen to this and search up Liam Neeson pissing himself.
Yeah, there's a Reddit thread on some Reddit thing called Curtis Connor. What the fuck is this? Fuck this guy. Curtis Connor, if you're out there, you're my op.
Cheers for the help, Curtis.
So that there's been a lot of remakes this year. I feel like I've seen a fair few. I mean, in a way, you could argue that the Super Mario Bros. I'm only bringing this up because Will watched it yesterday. But the Super Mario Bros. Movie is a remake of sorts because they already did a Mario Bros. Movie, but it sucked. I don't think a remake should only happen if the original was bad.
No,
because Nosferatu, as we were talking earlier, that's been remade quite a few times, and different ones add a fresh take to the tale. I think what matters the most is if you can bring a fresh perspective to a new story. Do you know what's interesting as well? Is that film? Is it A Trip to the Moon? One of the first films ever made.
One of the first narrative
films ever made. Yeah. So there's a remake of that 10 years later with color and better special effects. It's like because the original is shot like a play almost because that was like the limitations of what they knew how to do. So it's all one angle and it's different. All the effects are like stage effects almost. And it was remade, but much less successful and much less talked about than the original. And that's kind of a pointless remake. I think it's like, oh, we've got better technology, let's do the same thing with better technology, which isn't always, that's especially now, got so far on in the history of cinema, the first narrative film ever made. No one wants to. I think it's more to its charm that it's got like worse like quality.
Yeah, I feel like that's a similar thing they're doing with like Jurassic Park. Obviously, these new Jurassic World films, like they keep redoing them, and they're like, oh, we have better special effects now. We can make the dinosaurs, but nothing is better than the original Jurassic Park. None of them are better because, like, they used real life, like they used like actual, like they made dinosaur animatronics or whatever, and they think that just because the dinosaur could move in these new crazy ways that it's going to be better and that they're a better storyteller than Spielberg was. You're fucking not.
I don't. I mean,
sorry, one thing. Colin Trevorrow, who's the guy that did all of those Jurassic World ones, terrible director, dog shit, awful, shouldn't be working. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
It's weird though, because like I feel like if someone was to go, I'm going to remake E.T. or I'm going to remake fucking Jaws. I know Jaws had a lot of sequels, but I feel like no one's been like, I'm going to remake the original story of Jaws or the original story of E.T. And I guess, again, if someone was to remake the original, I don't think Steven Spielberg would allow. Maybe that's why no one's done it. But I think people would be outraged. Like, why the fuck are you telling this classic film that doesn't really need, rebuffing?
I mean, you say that, but they're remaking Vertigo at the moment, which is like, why do we need that? Robert Downey Jr. is doing it as well. Why? Did you hear the story about why Michael Caine agreed to be in one of the Jaws sequels? So he gets sent the thing. He doesn't. I don't think he has no particular reverence towards Jaws or whatever. And he reads Jaws 2, and he's like, oh, God, okay. He sees the price tag that they're offering, and he opens up the script, right? First page, first scene, set, Bahamas. And he went, yep, doing it. Classic bit of Caine law. Great guy. But no. Can I just read to you quickly what it says in this article here?
Sure.
What if you served those same people fresh and completely reformulated versions of the processed garbage that they slopped up as kids, or even as grown adults who'd been conditioned not to expect any better? What if you took the scraps of processed nostalgia, the kind of food that people fondly recall but would never eat again by choice, and challenged today's most inventive chefs to reimagine them for an audience whose palate has been starved of flavour for so long that they've forgotten the taste of a hot meal? If the faint whiff of a memory is all that's motivating people to pay for these movies, as producers and consumers, wouldn't it be more prudent to improve upon the past rather than risk constantly reinforcing the idea that the present is so much worse? I think that's a very succinct way of saying that we've got shit films now, and we're constantly watching remakes of better films, and it's reminding us of how bad the current studio filmmaking landscape is. So, okay, you guys have made a bunch of crap films in the past which are remembered for being crap. Try and make those better. Give people, and they quote in the thing the 200 million or something that was spent on doing that new Tron film. So why the fuck did you do that? With Jared Leto, an accused paedophile, by the way. Why not just give someone a tenth of that budget to do, I don't know, remake another shitty Arnie film or a shitty fucking JCVD film?
Yeah, I mean, key thing in that like quote that you said is like directors and consumers, and the issue is that
it was producers and consumers.
Oh, sorry. Producers and consumers. But yeah, the issue is that producers are going to be thinking about what consumers want, and the consumers are putting their money into remakes, unfortunately. Like I saw a thing, and it was, I can't remember what movie it was. It was one of the most successful movies of the new movies of the year. I want to say, I don't know, like, or no, not even. Sorry, it was lots and lots of new IPs, successful ones, challenges, companions, or whatever the fuck, and like all these different new movies, and they put like, I don't know, like 40 of them together against Snow White, the new one that was received terribly. But still, like Snow White still outsold all of these movies put together, which is like crazy.
Yeah, but what was the budget of those smaller movies though?
I mean, still probably a fair bit. I think there's a lot of studios out there that are probably putting money into films that they aren't getting back, and that's the business. But yeah, the issue is that a lot of people aren't willing to take the risk on new IPs, because even like that, even the Disney, when they did that Elio film, I've not seen it. Maybe I'm the problem, but apparently it was quite a solid like new entry into like, you know, a new Disney IP. But they did that and it flopped, and they promoted the hell out of it, and no one went to see it. So it's just sort of like, well, what's the point of doing that if you can just regurgitate and slap a name on, and then, you know, I think, you know, most people are just gonna go see something that's familiar, you know, because of nostalgia, or, you know, I don't even know. It's just people aren't willing to take the risk nowadays, and it's a shame.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's a tough one to think about, because like when original movies do come out, I remember when I was in college and that Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence film came out, Passenger. What is it called? I can't remember. And you know, my film teacher was like, "Oh, this is an original film that's not a horror film," because lots of original horror films still come out because that's an easy market. But you know, this is an original sci-fi film that's, you know, not based on a book, not based on an old film or anything, and it came out and it was crap. It was so bad. And yeah, it just they don't have good filmmakers in Hollywood anymore. It's just like not ones that make films like that. You know, I mean, there's a new Spielberg film coming out that I think it's an original. I'm not sure.
Bringing it back to Stephen King, you know, have you ever heard about the Dollar Babies scheme that he did?
What's that?
I think it was in like from 1977 to pretty much 2023. So you missed the boat, unfortunately. But there's a bunch of his like short stories and stuff that he basically licensed off as Dollar Babies, and he was like, only let sort of like students, people that hadn't had any experience, like you weren't allowed to like buy the rights or use the rights to these if you were like I don't know, like I think there were certain terms, like you had to be a student, or it was your first film, or like you couldn't be a big budget like you know, box office production studio. But yeah, he gave lots and lots of up and coming filmmakers a chance to use his source material and make films out of them. And I think there's a hefty list of films on so yeah, loads of up and coming directors.
Oh, wow, that is a long list, actually.
Only a few actually you can actually follow up on Wikipedia. You know, this guy's directed a lot of stuff. I'm not saying he's been amazingly successful. And then who else have we got? It'd be cool if there was like if there was someone on that list that had actually made it, but oh well.
Well, that's interesting.
I still think it's a very, very like cool thing to do as someone as prolific as Stephen King, and you know, I think stuff like that is what will probably keep the film industry going in some degree. You know, I think people need to be more willing to just fucking throw away their work. But then again, who's Stephen King nowadays? We don't have anyone. I think I wager that the film industry is sort of is in the same sort of place as the music industry like 20 years ago, where it's like, or maybe like 10 years ago, where it's like, cool, this has been done, like, you know, all these genres and things have been done. You know, like rock music, guitar music has kind of been very, very much pushed to the limit of what new can you add to it. And I guess it's entering a postmodernism bit where it's like, yeah, you can rehash these old sounds and people will be like, yeah, dude, and, you know, pay money and go see it. But it's like, to actually kind of innovate and do something new, you've got to really push the boat out there, you know, and be, you know, postmodern about it. But the problem with postmodernism is there's a fine line between, you know, just shit and then pulling it off. So yeah, I feel like that's where we're at with new ideas and you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, certainly something has to change. Well, even having said that, like those new like Lion King remakes that Disney knocked out, that looked dog shit, they made billions. So why would anything change when studios are making this much money?
Yeah, I guess they're at the top of the food chain, these big studios, and you know, they have the ability to just regurgitate their own IPs which as well they're not. I assume they're not having to pay for new updates on the rights or anything because they already have them. So and even like Disney buying Star Wars. That's fucking plummeted. Like the first new Star Wars film, The Force Awakens, is essentially a remake.
Just New Hope.
They're trying to really play in the fan base's heartstrings. But what I do like is that the majority of people have been very like sort of repulsed by the new Star Wars films. And
yeah,
I don't know. They're all right films actually. They're not like I don't think they're terrible.
I think that last one is awful, especially. I mean, I have no.
That's my favourite one. Out of the new ones.
No, it's not.
Out of the new ones, yeah.
You're not kidding?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I was like, fuck yeah, I don't care. Throw all the rules out the window. I'm bored. Let's wrap this up.
Oh, God,
and I was like, I don't know, wait. I can pull up my Letterboxd review and we can...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do get judged for this opinion a lot, obviously. But I think it's... Is it called The Last Jedi?
No, The Last Jedi was the second one.
Okay.
That one, there's the one that caused like loads of controversy. Like
I hated that one. I saw it. I remember my ex at the time. She took me on like my birthday to see The Last Jedi because I used to like wear Star Wars tops and I used to be like I like Star Wars. I was an 18-year-old trying to be some goofball, took me to see The Last Jedi and because it was a present. Like we left the theater and I was like. Oh yeah, it was good. But like, I thought
I think you should watch it again.
There's a scene where Luke Skywalker like milks this alien cow,
yeah,
and like it's really long and like unnecessary. And I remember thinking, this is what they're doing to the Star Wars franchise. They're fucking milking everything they can from it. I was like, this is like someone in the editing team has been like, I'm gonna like put these. I don't know, maybe I'm fucking wrong, but that was literally how I interpreted it. And the whole movie, I was just sort of like. They bring out they just make up and pull shit out of their arse. So I think after that, I thought that I don't know, and The Last Jedi is directed by Rian Johnson, and then
same guy who did all the Knives Out films.
I like Knives Out.
Yeah, like he's I don't know, he's a bit off and on for me. Like there are parts of him that I really like, but he's he has a lot of tendencies that I think are just awful as a director. Like the way he writes characters, I think are just cringy.
So here it's my review is 3.5 stars, right?
For
the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, is that what it's called? I couldn't even remember.
I left the theatre after Last Jedi, vowing to never watch another new Star Wars film again. 7 years later, here I am, having just watched Rise of Skywalker for the first time,
Did it take 7 years? For that?
Well, I took 7 years.
Oh, okay.
I said I just was like, I'm not doing this again, so I just like forgot that Star Wars existed. But last year I did a rewatch of all of them. And yeah, I got to the final one, and I actually really enjoyed it. Maybe my expectations were so low that it was easy to impress me at this point. At first I was hesitant because the opening crawl was the worst written out of any Star Wars film. But damn, this film has a lot of fun moments. When Chewie was thought to be dead, I was about to lose hope. His whole rescue was dope. I just turned off my brain, didn't critique too much, and had a good time. And I think that's how Star Wars should be enjoyed. Which is kind of where the issue with Star Wars is that I think you can get too nerdy and lore-y about it, but like, I don't know, sometimes with remakes, you do need to like just forego that they're not going to be able to keep every narrative plot in place from the old time. You know what I mean? It's a lot of
It just annoyed me that it was very clear that there was no through line put in place at the start of the writing process. Like,
that's the whole thing reads as a mess, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just like they started off with the first one, gave Rian Johnson creative control for the second one. Nobody liked it, and they were all like, oh God, now what do we do? Like they just threw everything out the window and just like we have to fix all of the messes and make sure everybody's really happy and do everything that they want and please, oh my God, please watch the film. And that was how it looked to me.
The original Star Wars was also kind of made up as it went along, though. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like
that is true. That's why.
Thing like Luke and Leia weren't even like thought to be sisters. I don't think.
No, that is I mean, to be fair to him, he didn't think it would be as big as it was when it first came out. That's why there was like Luke and Leia kiss in the first one. Because he didn't think he'd get a sequel. So that makes a bit more sense to me. But and
then again, it got he's peddling this. I mean. Maybe Star Wars was just supposed to be one film, and we've got like fucking 9 of them now. So,
I think George Lucas is to blame for all of this mess. Is what we're saying.
Yeah, but fuck him. It's he's killed all his darlings. He's sold off Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
it's LucasArts.
God, they're still doing Indiana Jones movies as well. No, what I was going to say about what you said in that your Letterboxd review there is like, I have to turn my brain off. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. There are some films that are great just to have on in the background whilst you do other shit, or you don't have to concentrate too hard. But then also at the same token, where are the films that you actually have to have your brain on now? That like, okay, maybe Avatar.
What?
Like you can
Avatar
think about
is
in
the
any
most turn off your brain film ever. You're just like, whoa, check out that crazy alien creature. It's kind of like a whale.
Yeah, but no, there is more going on though. There's like a whole colonized thing.
Yeah.
About
I mean, I guess there
and,
is that, but
like I think
I'm not. I feel like Avatar is again. It's action. It's entertainment. It's CGI. It's blue guys
like
running around.
I just don't think that every single blockbuster should be turn your brain off stuff. Like Jaws, I don't think it'd turn your brain off shit. Do you know what I mean? And that's the original blockbuster. I just think that there is like an what's the word? Infantilization. Infantilization, that's the word, of the current cultural landscape, and Disney are at the forefront of that, and they've just made everyone children who can't think too hard about the films they're watching. And yeah, okay, I get it. Life is hard, and life is, but like, also, you're an adult and watch films that are interesting and that make you think about the human experience in any kind of meaningful way.
Yeah, I mean, it's worrying that a lot of people's interests nowadays just peak off after like 16. Or maybe wait 17, 18, and then, you go get a job, and then you're just like, well, I'm just going to try and pretend, relive my childhood and all the free time I have, because the rest of the time I'm a slave to the man.
Yeah. See, that's a good point. And I do really hate it when you meet people that are like, they don't listen to any new music, or like, not they have to be like new, but like they listen to like the same shit they listened to when they were 15 all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know, listen to a new album.
Oh yeah, it's when someone like gets out the, like, I don't know, what
Green Day or fucking
Labyrinth.
People that still listen to Blink-182 all the time. Blink-182 suck. They've always sucked.
Blink-182 do not suck. That's my opinion. I think Blink-182 have some good songwriting, and they've got a on the nose humor about them. I think they can come off as whiny and stuff, but I had a phase, and I don't go back and listen to it now, but I can respect it for what it was, and they've got their success for a reason, but same, but yeah, it's just like you shouldn't just like stop at the first hurdle. I think you should carry on exploring and carry on seeing like where your favorite films are inspired from, where your favorite music's inspired from, or what your favorite music's inspired, further on down the line.
Yeah.
And keep trying and giving new stuff a chance, because if you don't, then no new things are going to happen. We're going to be stuck in a media loophole.
Yeah, this is just my way of saying that I just want more interesting films made about that actually make people think about things. That's all. Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's the heart of this crisis, the remake crisis, and yeah, I think we need more people need to be creators and less people need to be consumers. Is my final thoughts.
Very well said, Paul. Very well said. Yeah. So, new year, new us. Locking in for 2026.
We're gonna go back on weekly episodes.
Weekly episodes. We're making that pledge to you now. Weekly.
No,
we haven't talked about this beforehand. We're doing this now. 2026 weekly episodes.
Yeah, if enough shit comes out to talk about, though.
You
Otherwise,
live around the corner from me now, so you have no fucking way to get out of this. So we're doing it.
If we've got nothing to talk about, I've recently just started watching The Simpsons.
We could always talk about The Simpsons.
Episode 1. Great. I'm going to watch all of them eventually. So I'm going to go through. That's a very good cultural decline, isn't it?
That's a fun, like, recurring bit. You watching The Simpsons and telling us where you've gotten to. I got
to season 2, episode 14 today. I think it's Principal Charming, and nice. It's I think Selma's looking for a date, and then Homer has to set her up, and then he tries to set her up with Principal Skinner. But then Principal Skinner falls for Patty, and you can imagine when she's. Oh God! But again, this show is so well written in some of these early episodes. Some of the gags are like really, really funny, And to think about where it's got to today, it's like people just don't try anymore, and it's
I haven't watched any of the really recent ones, but apparently they have picked up again.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's save this for the Simpsons episode that we've now just decided we're doing.
Simpsons movie 2 comes out at some point.
I think that's not for another year or so though.
Should we have a look what year it is? Simpsons movie. That's like a good cultural event.
Yeah,
2027. So
yeah, next year. Well,
stay tuned for 2027, man.
Yeah, so 2027 is the year of Old Man Media.
I didn't even fucking stop it.